Okey-doke. Okay. Welcome, everyone, to the November 18th special budget meeting of the Delaware County Commissioners. And we have before us our great team, starting with our county administrator, who will be presenting, and with our finance person, and our deputy administrator. Karen, our finance person, has done a heck of a lot of work on the budget. Thank you so much, Karen. Got a lot of great information. Okay.
All right, are you ready? Well,
ready.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm Tracy Davies, County Administrator, and as you said, with us today we have Karen First, our Fiscal Manager, Don Houston, our Deputy County Administrator. And first, I just want to take the opportunity to particularly thank Karen for all of her hard work on the budget. She has put a lot of time and effort into developing this budget, and without her, we probably couldn't get through the process, so we appreciate all of your efforts. I also want to thank Sarah DeNovo for her help, as well as getting the budget books together, and Eric Hostetler as well for his guidance in the budget process. So today, we just wanted to give you a general overview of the general fund budget as submitted by all of the county agencies. So we'll kind of go through some slides here quickly. The goals for the 2023 budget were for non-personnel expenses, including services and charges, materials and supplies. We had asked people to consider a 3% increase. What the request came in overall at about 17%. Non-capital projects, we asked people to hold off unless something was truly necessary, and to keep it at 3%. We also, under the capital expenses, the first was non-capital, under capital expenses in the 423 fund, the cruisers and the ambulance type materials, we asked people to, again, just hold off on what they absolutely needed this year as we continue to keep the line and hold money available for the Bixby campus, as we have significant costs there. We also considered employee retention and attraction in the budget. We recommended increases of 4% for non-union employees. We are also in the midst of a countywide wage study that should be completed by the end of this month. We probably won't be ready to come forward with recommendations till early 2023, so those will not be included in the budget process. And then with your approval, we are taking on 50% of the vision and dental costs for increasing the employee benefits this coming year. This next slide gives you an overview of the general fund revenue. Overall, our projections for 2023 are about a 3% decrease in revenue. A large portion of that can be attributed to the property tax rollback, which equates to about $4.8 million for 2023. We're also seeing a decrease in interest earning projections, as well as road and bridge reimbursement fees. We have also noticed number 3 on there, the orange color, conveyance fees, license fees, and particularly a decrease in residential buildings. So those numbers have gone down. We also wanted to note under number 4 there, the green line item, that includes income from casino revenue, public defender reimbursement from the state. So overall, we are projecting revenues of just over $127 million.
Where does the interest show up?
It is in the blue, number 2, circled. You can see
Under
it.
miscellaneous?
Yes.
Okay.
Projecting about $2.6 million. This year, we're anticipating $4.2 million in that line item.
Is that as an improvement over the number we saw earlier?
I believe this is what was presented to you before. It's still accounting for, I think they're projecting $1.9 million in interest income for 2023. That has not changed as of now.
But you're still looking into that?
Yes, I
'Cause
will.
It does seem low.
Yes, this year, the adjusted amount was
They moved it up to about $4 million.
about $4 million for 2022. Expenditures, overall, we are projecting an 8% decrease in expenditures. To run through these highlights, under the salary line item, there's an increase of about 4%, but when you add in the anticipation of filling vacancies and increasing some requests for staff, it comes in at overall 7% increase. And then under benefits, you'll see an 8% increase overall for all benefits and health insurance. That includes the additional costs that we are taking on for vision and dental care for our employees. And under number 3, that's mostly just an increase in road and bridge projects can account for that. And then capital transfers, we did not anticipate transferring as much money into the capital budget just as we're preparing to pay for Bixby and other large expenses. We didn't want to start off with as many transfers. Trends and noteworthy items throughout the budget. Health insurance costs were increased by 4%, which we were happy to only have a 4% increase for the coming year. The county did take on 50% of the cost of 50% of the cost for vision and dental. We also changed the amount that the employees are contributing towards insurance up from 12% to 12.5%. And the spousal surcharge increased from $50 up to $75. Workers' compensation claims, they're trending favorably. That's a good thing, so they remain consistent at 0.9% of the payroll. Operating costs, we're seeing in materials and supplies, again, an increase of over 17%. Service charges increase of almost 17%. Right now, if you factor in the property tax rollback, we are looking at about a $2 million shortfall in the budget. New positions and vacancies, there's, under the Board of Commissioners, 1 request, and other offices have requested to fill vacancies and have some new positions, which you'll be hearing about through the budget hearing process. The 420 Capital Fund includes construction of the Bixby campus and the Willis building remodel, and the casino revenue is projected to be at about $2.8 million in 2023. The 423 Capital Fund requests have been carried over from 2021 and 2022 with a transfer of $5 million proposed. 2.1 of that is the carryover funds. A couple other things I wanted to note, particularly with the Board of Commissioners budget. We are seeing an increase. I wanted to note those items. We are adding the finance director back in. We will be hiring a finance director. We also are moving the full funding of an executive assistant position over to the commissioner's budget that was previously split funded. Also, HR has some increased costs. They are taking on the cost of software services for NeoGov, which was previously in the commissioner's budget, as well as an increase in the safety budget due to a new employee, some insurance changes, and additional supplies to help keep our employees safe. Capital spending requests. So the 401 fund, we have a cash balance of about $1.4 million, and you can see the revenue projections of about $850,000. Some of the items of note are the Hayes roof replacement, jail chiller, and wayfinding signs. I know that everybody's been anxious for us to get some wayfinding signs down here between the buildings. We have a full list in your budget book. The 423 fund, this is the fund that we are going to close out and restart, so it will technically have a cash balance of $0. We anticipate transferring in a total of $5 million. 2.1 million of that is a carryover from the old 417 fund. And items of note are 2 ambulances for EMS, as well as general EMS equipment, 14 SUVs for the sheriff's office, as well as a new jail management system and Board of Elections equipment.
The 2 ambulances, is that, I know they have some that they're backlogged on.
Yes,
So how many in total are they?
I believe they,
Including the backlog and next year's request?
This will be a total of 6. We still have 2 on order for 21, 2 for 22, and then they're requesting
Okay.
2 more in 23.
so maybe we'll get them within the next 5 years. Hopefully, the backlog will continue to get better, but we're seeing multiple years out before we see delivery on these equipment items,
That's crazy.
which makes it even more imperative that we get our orders in.
Yeah.
And do you pay at the point that you order, or pay you when you pick them up?
When they're delivered, we pay for it.
So in
Delivered,
theory, we're probably not, the 2 that we're ordering are not going to be, there's not going to be an expenditure until at least the following year.
Possibly.
correct. If we're lucky.
Yeah.
But I do believe we are required to have an auditor's certificate in order to make the purchase request. The 420 fund, which is the large capital projects, currently the cash balance is about 10.2. We're recommending the transfer, which includes the Bixby campus, Willis Building remodel, and 5th District Courthouse. We'll be moving forward with Willis Building design procurement services in the upcoming year. We are also looking to transfer additional cash before the end of this year into the fund.
Have we gotten anything back on the Willis Building remodel? I know they've looked at it.
They've looked at it, and John Melvin, I'm sure he'll speak about it in his
Okay,
presentation,
sure.
but he is in the process of, I don't know if it's out yet, putting out an RFP for design
Okay,
services.
Okay, thank you.
And as of now, this may change. These are the current budget hearings we have proposed to you. You heard the prosecutor yesterday, and these are the balance of presentations that may come before you. There may be 1 or 2 changes, but we will keep you updated on that. And just in general, the timeline, we have our hearings scheduled now through November 30th. November 30th will be a long day. And then we'll immediately begin the budget review with you after that, and hope to have the changes to you by the week of December 5th, tentative final budget by the 12th, and our target goal for approval is the week of December 19th, either on the 19th or the 22nd. And with that, we are happy to take any questions, and Karen, again, is the true expert, so I may be relying on you to answer some of these.
I almost hate to bring it up, but ARPA?
ARPA dollars,
It's
so.
so complicated.
It is very complicated. So currently, where we are expending ARPA dollars are, we have done some minor software things, and we did, early on, we paid for some COVID tests, but in terms of larger expenditures, we have dedicated dollars for the Berlin Business Park, for the pump station and force main, and for regional sewer. We are also anticipating using ARPA dollars towards a broadband fiber project. We are working with a firm right now to be able to do some work to put a RFP out there and see who we can get to come in and provide services. The balance of the ARPA dollars we're still working through. As you all know, it's very complicated on what we can and can't spend the money. We have also done the revenue replacement where we have paid for salaries, and we have put in, how much are we doing in total for revenue replacement? 12, 13, 14, like 15 million between the 2 years for revenue replacement, which we are putting towards Bixby cash for construction projects.
Debt. I know Karen's done a real nice job of summarizing it, presenting it. Do we plan to issue debt next year?
Potentially for the Bixby campus. We should hopefully get that wrapped up and have a better idea by the end of December on how much and if we'll need to borrow for Bixby.
And I know we do have a few ditches we'll have to go out to bond for as well. that are coming up.
But we do plan on using the dollars that we get identified to reduce the debt we'll need to borrow, correct? From our,
Correct.
Any other questions?
No, not really.
You don't have to respond to the question I'm going to ask you, but these two EMS vehicles, because we are $5-6 million apart where we need to be, they're not going to come until the following year. Is there a way we can pull those out of the budget or still order them and pull out of the budget so it doesn't reflect, gets us closer to our goal?
I don't think we can technically order them without an auditor's certificate and setting aside the dollars with a PO, but we can check into it.
Well, I knew that'd be the answer, but I wanted to pose the question just so we think about that. 'Cause
Absolutely.
I think to the degree that we're asking other departments to be more diligent, I think that shows good faith on our part, if it's doable.
I also, while I have a chance, want to thank all of the other elected officials and all of the other county agencies for their work on the budget. Everybody did a great job, and we appreciate their assistance and guidance through the process.
Any other questions?
No other questions, but I want to compliment the three of you, Karen. You know, you're doing the bulk of the work, and it really is very well done. Good communication and good understanding, and I know we're not where we need to be in terms of the bottom line yet, but, you know, we've got a number of ideas on how to get there, and we'll work on those. So again, thank you all.
And I'm going to be repeating what you just said, but Karen, I'm sure you did a lot of the, I'm not going to ask you to break down who did what, but I'm guessing you were the primary person to put all this together with the help of Sarah and of course, other people in this room here, but really appreciate, one, how you approach it, your attitude, your can-do way of you get it done, and very much appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, maybe just a couple other things that,
Sure.
as we go through the various offices, is again, since really most of our costs have gone up, salaries, supplies, construction costs, et cetera, you know, I think we need to just remind the departments and offices to look for ways to pass those costs through with changing the rates that we charge for the services that we provide. Just in general, I think that needs to be, you know, out front. And another topic is airport. I know we're not really in a position yet where we could probably budget anything, but hopefully soon we'll have a plan for the airport and a new regional commission, and we'll have a business plan that would require probably some funding. So, but nothing. I wouldn't expect anything to go into the budget this year, but hopefully we'll have something, you know, materialize soon. And we
I think we're looking for some outside expertise on that. I don't have any
Yes.
idea where we stand on that, but
Yes, we are looking for some outside expertise, working with Tom Holman to get someone on board to help us do some evaluation, some financial evaluation.
Anything else?
I think that's really pretty much all my
for
notes.
next meeting, what, 2:30?
Yes. I would like to thank Karen too for all the hard work, and I know Sarah has done a great job in assisting you, and then Dawn has also worked hard on the budget, and then Tracy. I mean, you have great team and great presentation, and
Can I ask you a question before we recess?
Yes, what I was going to suggest is that we may want to call people in a little earlier, or, go ahead.
My phone says 2:30 facilities, 3:30 public defender, and it says hold for engineer budget 3:30.
That's
No,
not
That's wrong.
happening.
Engineer.
Is on,
engineer's
okay.
right.
I
He's
just
on-
hadn't upgraded. When do-
He's on next week.
I got it.
I will tell John right now we're ready.
Go ahead.
Kid in the back of the room with a question. Economic development.
Yes.
I know Monica's new and she's getting her feet on the ground and so on, but I know she's working on redoing the strategic plan. So in terms of her staffing and so on, has she developed a plan at this point for that yet?
So she is probably, for now, she's just planning on a continuation budget, which does have additional money available should she need to hire some additional
Okay, so
staffing.
she has some flexibility.
Yeah, she
in the budget
does.
to
But I think she needs some time to evaluate. She is working on an RFP for an economic development strategic plan, which will look at several things, including how they should be structured and how we should move forward with economic development in the county. But she's leaving some space open for if she needs additional staff or if she needs to get professional services to help fill in the gap. She's not quite sure what she needs yet.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect her to know exactly what she wants to do at this
Yeah.
point so early, but.
She reminds me she's on week 6.
Yeah. So she's an expert. All knowledgeable. Okay, that's all I got, I promise.
Okay, and let's see
For
here,
sure.
let's see what John says. He's
All
on his
right, well
way.
then.
John's on his way.
Oh, okay, good, good. We'll recess then until 2 PM.